All right, good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
Minutes extra. Yeah, good evening. We had to give 5 minutes extra for others to come in because as at when it was 7 o'clock, it was just one person that was here. So we had to give 5 minutes extra so that we can get other persons to come in. So yesterday we delve into the use of AI tool for our research and our documentation. And that is because we are not able to actually finish up. That was why we are now pushing this class into today. So we'll try as much as we can to finish up what we started yesterday. So yesterday we started and we were looking at AI tools for efficient research, and we were able to consider a number of things like the prompts. We're able to look at the prompts and why it is important, and then we're able also to look at some of the AI tools. Yesterday we considered the ChatGPT and the DeepSeek. We considered the SciSpace, even though not exhaustively because we can't actually exhaust their functionalities, but we're able to open our eyes to certain things that they can do which we didn't know that they are able to do it. We also looked at the Quillbot, and we looked at the Grammarly, we looked at Consensus, and we are looking at Mendeley when our machine got off because the battery was gone. So we want to continue from that point. So I really want us all to pay attention and let's move on. But before we go on, I was trying to show to us how we are able to use Consensus, especially in the area of literature review. So we ran something yesterday and it was running while we were doing other things. So I just want to show us what Consensus gave back to us. This was the topic we gave to Consensus. We say Consensus, look at what we want to do, measuring clinically harmful hallucinations in electronic health record and note summarization and how to mitigate them. So this is a very, very good research area that ChatGPT gave to us yesterday. So we are able to also look at this area, touching its development, the background of the study and other things using ChatGPT. Now, this is what Consensus was able to do for us. This is it. He said, yes, clinically harmful hallucinations in electronic health record and note summarization, they are measurable and can be mitigated through targeted frameworks, prompt engineering, and human-in-the-loop strategy. Now, if you scroll down, you will see that they performed a number of literature search. Are you seeing what he said he did here? He said a comprehensive literature search was conducted across over 170 million research papers in Consensus, including sources such as Semantic Scholar and PubMed. The search strategy involved 20 targeted queries grouped into foundational concepts, measurements, approaches, mitigation techniques, limitations, and adjacent domain. In total, 573 were screened, 395 were deemed eligible, and the top 50 most relevant papers were included in this review. Is that not wonderful? If you were supposed to be the one that should do this particular work, you will not finish it in 3 months. You will still be doing it. In 3 months, you will still be doing it. But within just about 10 minutes, this is what has come in. Now, look at the results that he gave to us. He said these are the results that we got. When it was talking about definitions and taxonomies of hallucination, he got about some papers where you can get to establish the concepts of hallucination and its strategy. And that is a very important aspect of your literature review. In your literature review, there's an aspect they call conceptual review, where you tend to want to explain certain concepts and why they are relevant to your work. So that is it. Then the next stage, he now looked at measurements and evaluation frameworks. So he now also look at literatures that has also been published where you can understand or you can see certain measurements and evaluation framework that have been used by other authors. Then mitigation strategy, it also considered what authors or researchers have done in trying to provide mitigation strategy to the problem in concern. Then it also looked at clinical impact and limitations. So it also looked at papers that has been able to give fact to some of the impacts and limitation of these measurement and mitigation measurement frameworks and mitigation strategies that are being used to curtail hallucinations or output errors model. So it now break them down into it broke down the key papers looking at their measurement approach, their sample size, and their key results, the findings they came out with. So after that, it now looked at the top contributors, that is the top articles that contributed. Then,
hello, sir.
Yes,
hello,
I
sir.
can hear you.
Sorry for actually interrupting you. This
right.
This particular AI tool, Consensus.
Yes.
Please, can you quickly remind us how we started in there? Is it that we put a query or probably a topic or whatever before it generates all this?
Yes, we put a topic. This was the topic we gave to it.
Okay.
Yes, we gave it a topic. We didn't put anything, just the topic.
Okay.
Consensus majorly is for literature review. That is the major thing they do. That is the major thing Consensus is designed to do, to review literature, to make literature review easy for you. So when you put your topic there or you put your question, it will use that question or topic to generate a review, literature review for you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So now it has now finished carrying out all this. Then at the bottom, it will list out all the papers that it considered. It will list out all the papers that it considered. If you look here, he has already begun to try to want to do the literature review, but take note, it cannot do the literature review the way you want it. So for you to get it the way you want it, you have to prompt it further. Are you getting me? So if you look at, I told it, I say, generate the literature review section of those articles with an article paragraph. So look at the way it started doing it. It said, in a framework to assess clinical safety and hallucination rates of large language model for medical test summarization, the author highlights the critical need for. He has already started doing literature review for this particular topic. This one is the review for a particular paper now. So this is the way it is carrying it out. So I told it, I gave it another prompt here. I say, let the review cover all the papers, but it should not include review papers. I will tell you why. It should not include reviews papers, and it should put it in APA 7th edition format. Now look at what he said. He said, below is a literature review covering all non-review primary research article on harmful hallucination produced by large language model in clinical test summarization formatted in APA 7th edition style. Each paragraph summarizes the literature review or background section of a single article. So look at the way it now put it. Before it was putting it topic and explanation, but now it now put it in the right way it is supposed to be done, which is by starting with the name of the author. Asghari et al. 2025 emphasize the critical importance of accuracy in large language model generated clinical documents, noting that errors, particularly hallucinations, can lead to miscommunication, incorrect diagnosis, and compromise patient safety. The author highlights that despite the promise of large language models for automating clinical note summarization, there is a lack of established framework for systematically assessing the safety and accuracy of these outputs. Prior research has explored various error types in medical test generation, but few are focused on clinical risk or provided structured metrics for evaluating large language models' performance in real-world healthcare settings. This gap motivated the development of Crayola framework, which aims to categorize large language models and establish clinical safety metrics for live deployment. So it has done the review. I went on again, after reading it, I went on again to tell it. I said, what are the gaps? What are the gaps in the literatures? So it now begin to point out the gaps. It now begin to point out the gaps. So for papers 2, 6, 7, and 19, these are the gap. The gap is limited scope and generalizability. Then for paper 2, 3, 6, 7, 12, these are also gaps that can be found in that paper. Then for for paper 2, 3, 6, 12, 2, 3, 19, 3, 5, 12. So it tries bringing out the possible gaps that are found in those literature. And at the end of the day, you know that it is those gaps that you use to support what you are trying to do. So we can go further and keep prompting it the way we want it. Even if we want it to put the gap in a table, if we say, okay, put the gaps in a table showing also year of publication, title of paper, and gaps in the papers. So we want you to create a table and let it make it easy for us. So let's see what it can do in creating that table. But in the meantime, I don't know what we were able to do yesterday. Were we able to actually download the Mendeley? Were we able to download Mendeley in our systems?
Not really, but you show us how we can do that.
Yes, I did yesterday. Yes. So we are still going to continue with the Mendeley. I showed us briefly. Let me see if it has finished generating. All right, are you seeing what it has done? It has given us this thing so concise as in a table. So you can see the author and the year, the title of the paper, and the gap identified. Are you seeing it? So this is just sweet.
Very, very.
So this is just sweet. It makes it easy for us. So now let's go to our Mendeley. So yesterday we were looking at, we were able to get our Mendeley site. And we were able to also log into our Mendeley site. Remember that it is the login you use to log into the details you use in logging into your Mendeley reference app, the reference manager. That is the same details you use in logging into your site. your Mendeley site. So when you download the Mendeley Reference Manager, it will ask you to register an account. When you finish registering that account, anytime you come there, if they say you should log in, it is that detail you use in logging in. When you also go to your Mendeley site, it is that the same detail you will use to log into your Mendeley site. And when you are able to do that, then you are able to you are able to take advantage of the tools. Now, let me show us how to make use of the Mendeley Reference Manager. So take, for instance, like as you can see on this place, you can see all references, you can see recently added, you can see recently read, you can see favorites, my publications, unsorted, duplicate, trash. Now, all this you see here, they are all collections that I created. Collections means that you are trying to gather paper on a particular topic. You can create a collection for it. So let's take, for instance, now I want to create a collection to gather paper for let's say antibiotics resistance. So I click on this create collection. When I click on create collection, it will give me an opportunity where I will type the name. So I will now put it antibiotics resistance. I click this tick sign and it will create it. Look at it now, it has created it here. But if I click on it, you will see that there is no paper inside of it. I have not added any paper to it. So what am I expected to do? I am expected to go on my normal Google search. Go on my normal Google search or my search, any way you want to search for the paper, or if it's Google Scholar, if it is going through any of those databases that I gave us the link, any of them, but you need to source for those papers. So let me just try and source for one or two. So I'm going to just put antibiotics resistance. Then I'll click enter. Now, look at one paper, antibiotic resistance. Look at one paper, antibiotic resistance, impact, challenges, and future. So let me pick this. I don't know if it is free for download, but let me just pick it because I need to download it. Which one again? Let me check for another. Let me just put a PDF at the front so that it can avoid websites. So I just go straight to something that I need. Okay, let me pick this. Those ones that the PDF is free and available, you will see that PDF now on the front of it. So because I searched it with PDF. All right, so let me also pick these out. Review, because I still needed to explain the concept of web importer. So now let's look at it. Let me also pick this frontier. All right, so let's pick this one first of all. Now, this one, we needed it, so let's download it. So I have downloaded one already, then this. I've downloaded two papers already. Now, I'm looking for a paper that will enable us to make use of our Mendeley web importer. All right. Are you seeing this thing here that popped up here now? This view PDF, are you seeing it? This thing is making you to understand that you can make use, instead of coming to click to download this paper, you can use the web importer to import it to your Mendeley Reference Manager. But before we look at that, let's go and add those papers we have downloaded into our Mendeley site. Yes, our Mendeley site. 91 minutes. Right, so let's go and put those papers into our Mendeley site. So as you can see now, in this place, there is no paper under the antibiotic resistance collection. No paper is there. Let's go to our Mendeley site to see if that no paper is actually there. If I click here now, and I go to the antibiotic resistance, you are seeing it here now. As I created it there, it has come to reflect in our Mendeley site. If I click it now, you will see that there is no paper here yet. There's no paper. Now, how do I bring in the paper? Those papers I've already downloaded. I can go to this Mendeley stuff like this. I can just drag it and just pick that paper that I've already downloaded, which I know that I needed it for my research. I can just pick it. Where did this thing download into? I can just pick it and then use it. Let me search for where it is. I can just pick it and I'm coming, please. Just give me 1 minute. Let me check who is on my door. All right, so we'll go to the Mendeley site, the reference manager. We'll locate where that material is. This is the material. And then what we can do is that you can click, drag into the, when I drag it, you could see that it said drop files to add them to antibiotic resistance. Remember, that was the collection I created. So when I leave it, it's going to start uploading into it. So you can see it has uploaded into it. As well, if I go to my Mendeley site, you will see that it has also come in here. Another way, again, we can add the file. We can come to this point where we have add references. Are you seeing it here? Add references. When you click on it, it will give you an ability, a means for you to go to import a file. So I want to import this file from my system into it. Look at it, that started opening. And when it has entered, it has entered now. So look at it here. So if I go to my Mendeley site, you will see that the two papers has already come into my Mendeley site. So I can easily cite them. I can easily bring them into my work. So I want to look at also the use of this Mendeley web importer. Now, the paper, as we open it like this, this prompting shows that paper, you can get it using the Mendeley web, the web importer. So let me sign in into my web importer so that it can interact directly with my stuff, with my Mendeley reference manager. So you see, it is the same login details that the one you use in registering at the Mendeley reference manager. That is what you use in logging into the Mendeley site and using to log into the Mendeley web importer. If you don't use the same stuff, you will not be able to interact. The three of them will not be able to interact. So you can see, look at this paper, antibiotics resistance in bacteria, a review. Now, when it finishes loading, you will see it. It will bring out that paper. Are you seeing the paper here? This is the paper here now. It's showing us now that this particular paper, we can add it to our web, our Mendeley reference manager. So let's check, where do we want to add it? Are you seeing this place? When I click on this place where you have the library, you can see our antibiotic resistance collection is here. So I click on it and I can say add. As I say add, to show you that it has entered, go to your Mendeley reference manager. You will see it there. Look at it. It has entered. Go to your Mendeley site. You can see it there. Look at it. It has entered. So that is how you make use of the Mendeley site, the Mendeley web importer, and the Mendeley reference manager. Now, why is this thing so good and necessary for your research work? Now, this Mendeley web importer, I did not bother downloading this material. I didn't bother. I didn't come here to say, let me come and download. No, I just click on the web importer and it gave me the avenue for me to add my paper. So that is why this web importer is important. So why is the Mendeley site important. Now, I have read this paper and I need to cite it. So I put it here. I got this whole information like this from here. I zoom in to this point. I got it from this first paper. So I need to cite the place I got it from. So I put my cursor there. I keep a space. Then look at this place, insert citation. As soon as I click on it, it will see that it will bring in the citations. I don't need to struggle with trying to cram. How do I do it? No, it has brought it here already. Now, at the end of your paper, you are supposed to have what we call the references. The reference section, which is supposed to be here. Now, all the papers that you have used your Mendeley reference manager and your Mendeley site to put into your work, you can just do the generation of the reference automatically. You click on these 3 dots, then you will see where it says insert bibliography. When you click on it, you will see that it has generated all those papers that we added automatically, and it did it in APA 7th edition. Look at it. But if maybe the work you are doing, you don't want to use APA 7th edition, you want to use another method, you click on citation settings, and you will see where they say change citation style. If you click on it, you will see different citation style. You know, we have taught you the different citation style. You see IEEE, Vancouver, you see ASA, all the different types that you want, they are here. So if you click on it, it will now generate the citation and reference according to the citation style that you have chosen. All right. So we are done with Mendeley. I've explained everything about Mendeley. So now let's move on to another of the AI tool. The next one we are going to be looking at is the prompt generator. Yes, you know that this prompting is what you use in interacting with your AI tool. Now, your ability to generate good prompting make it easy for you to get better results from your AI tool. So because sometimes we find it difficult to do that, there are also AI tools that are used for prompt generation. So one of them is the originality prompt. So let's just see how that one operates. So you see, they say our accurate AI checker, plagiarism, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what we want to use. We want to use what? The prompt generator. So let me check for it in their AI checker, plagiarism check, fast check. So I'm trying to get the to the right place where I am able to do what I want to do. So, and you know, one thing is this stuff, they get improved daily or they are being worked on always. So when you check through them, you will be able to know what new things are available in them, and then you know how to make use of them. Don't worry, let me just check for this. Prompt generator. All right, originality.ai. So this is it. AI prompt generator. So you can sign up and then log in. But now, take for instance, look at what he said. He said content creation has become more critical and complex than ever. Many writers or content creators experience a block in their creation journey and often require a tool or software to assist or inspire them to proceed with their journey. AI prompt generator is one of the tools that can be used by writers or content creators to stimulate creativity and inspire them to create more engaging content. So what do? They say purpose of the prompt. All right, so let's say I want to generate problem areas in machine learning in health care. So I want to generate problem in machine learning in healthcare based on true and existing literature stating the gaps. So I will click here, generate, okay? So it has generated, okay, I'm coming. Right, so this is the prompt it generated for us. So you can take that prompt now to ChatGPT, paste it there. All these ones now, they may be things that you would not be able to think out, maybe normally, but let's read what the prompt is all about. Generate a comprehensive list of problem areas in machine learning within the healthcare sector by analyzing and synthesizing existing literature. Focus on identifying specific gaps and challenges that have been documented in peer-reviewed articles, conference papers, and reputable sources up to 2023. Let's make it up to 2025. For each identified problem area, provide a brief descriptions that include 1. The context of the problem within healthcare. 2. Relevant studies or literature that highlight the issue. 3. The implications of the gap for healthcare outcome and advancement in machine learning applications. 4. Suggestion for potential research direction or solutions to address the identified gaps. Ensure that the information is well structured, accurately referenced, and presented in a format that is easy to read and understand. You can see it has helped us to do it. But take note, all I did was just to tell it, this is just what I wanted. And you can see how we did the prompting. It created the prompting for us. So that is the use of the prompt generator. It saves you the time to be thinking how you are going to structure your prompt. It saves you that time. Just tell it what you want and it will generate the prompt for you. So while it is generating the outcome, let's move on. So that is about the prompt generator. Another AI tool is the Humanizer AI. This one is very, very important because when you use your AI tool to generate content, plagiarism checkers like Turnitin, they will be able to cache your AI content and tell your supervisor that this work is generated with AI. And surprisingly, there are some students, their entire work from beginning to ending is AI. So you will just see that the Turnitin will say 100% AI, and every supervisor will not be happy to see that kind of stuff. So how do you now confuse that Turnitin so that Turnitin will not cache your content as AI? That is where this particular AI tool comes in. It is called Humanizer AI. It is used to transform all those your AI generated content into a context that looks like the one that humans have generated. So that is what it does. It will help you to transform it so that when when AI generator now, AI Turnitin now view it, Turnitin will not be able to see it as AI generated. Rather, it will see it as human generated. So let's give it a try. So let's get that stuff that this thing is preparing. Let's just copy it out. I'm not reading it, I'm just copying it out. So when I finish copying it, I will put it in a Word document, and then I will use Turnitin to check it. So let me save again, chapter 1 saved. Now let me go to my Turnitin. All right, so I'm logging into my Turnitin account so that I can run plagiarism check on that particular chapter 1 that we have created. Let's see what it will say about those content. All right, so I want to bring it up now. Chapter 1. Turnitin will now receive the document and it will scan it. So let's wait. So it is scanning it now. You can see processing. So when it finishes processing, it will tell us the similarity index and the AI content of that material. So let's wait and let it finish what it's doing. All right. So you can see that it says 8% of similarity, 0% of AI. And you say, how? Why will it say 0% of AI? Now, I want to show you something else in Turnitin. When your AI content is less than 20%, it will see it as 0%. But when it is more than that, that is when it will not count it for you. So this one now you are seeing 48, it means that it is above 20. But when it is 20 and below, it sees it as 0. I hope that is clear. Is that clear? Please, let's respond. Is that clear?
Yes, please, it's clear. Thank you.
All right. So the reason why it is seeing it as 0 here is because the percentage of AI is not above 20%. Do you get it? So
okay,
that's the reason. But when the document contains that much, it's going to flag it. Like as you see with this other document here, that it flagged the AI content. Are you seeing it now? So yes, that's the stuff. And then this Turnitin I am using, take note, it's not free. So that you don't go and struggle with trying to say Turnitin, I want to go and use Turnitin. It's not free. This is a subscribed Turnitin, so you will not be able to get Turnitin free anywhere. So I just say, let me say that so that you don't go and stress yourself to wanting to go and look for Turnitin.
Okay.
It's not free. Yeah. So now I want to show you. I want to check for something. Trying to check for that point where it says if the document is having more than a certain amount of AI content, that is when it will flag it. If not, it does not flag it. But meanwhile, I want to pick a particular. This is somebody's work. Okay, so let me just leave that. But when in the case you do your Turnitin and it comes back with something like this, like 48%, all you have to do is to go and look for what we call humanizer AI. There are many of them out there, but some of them are also fake. Because when you finish using them, Turnitin will still see it as what? AI generated. But there are a few of them that I have used and they are actually very good. And one of them is this Humanizer AI.org. I think Humanizer AI.org. So let me show it to us. Humanizer AI.org. Okay, let me just put humanizer.ai. Let me see. I think it is the URL that is. All right, this is the one I use. Humanizer.org. Yes, humanizer.org is the one I use, and it's still not free. It's not free. So mostly when you want to use it, you have to subscribe. But they will give you a kind of free this thing. But that free is just for you to do it for 200 word. After you finish 200 word, it has expired. So that is one of the limitations of it. But if you subscribe, the pricing is there. The pricing is there. Let me check the plans. This one is standard is $9, about $10 per month. This is $9 per month. I mean 19, about $20, about $20 per month. So it now depends. This one, you are able to get only 8,000 words. This one, you have unlimited words. You understand? So you can see the difference. So it depends on what you can go for. But I want to tell you that before you subscribe for a Humanizer AI, make sure it is when you are doing a serious project, so that you are doing something and in that month, before this subscription will expire, you have been able to do real work with it. So that is my advice to us. So the Humanizer AI will help you to turn those AI generated content into human written content. So this is the step for how you go about it. You impute the test, it will humanize, then you get the result. So when not to use AI in your work, when not to use AI. AI can boost research, but misusing it would lead to bias, errors, and ethical pitfall. To mitigate this risk, researchers must critically assess AI-generated attributes and remain responsible for interpreting results. Using AI without understanding its limitation can compromise research integrity. All right, when not to use AI. 1, prioritize transparency by providing citations for every literature review, topic exploration, and written suggestion. Most times when you use your AI tool to generate content, it will not give you citation of the literature that you are getting it from, that they are getting that content from. So you must ensure that when you are trying to do such thing that requires citation, you know what to do so that you don't go into problem. Another thing is, when you use AI for grammar and spelling checker, make sure it aligns with your country's form. Because sometimes some of those AI tools, they are using US language, US English. Some are using UK English. Just be sure that it aligns with the country format that you are using in your country. Then after paraphrasing with AI, check the output to ensure it has the same overall meaning as the previous input. So sometimes when you use your AI tool like the Quillbot to do paraphrasing, please make sure you read the paraphrase content and make sure it is making the same meaning as the one that you gave to it before paraphrasing. Then after humanizing with AI, check the registers and and overall meaning aligns with the idea you are trying to pass across. So after you finish humanizing the AI content, just be sure to go through the output so that it is still making the same meaning as the initial test. So challenges for AI for research. Current algorithms can summarize but do not necessarily generate accurate, unbiased, and dependable new or creative ideas. AI tools are better at summarizing information than retrieving it. Using these tools as search engine will likely result in biased results. People are prone to biases in their work, and AI can pick up those biases from the training data and even amplify them or introduce its own. So you can see that this is one of the some of the challenges of AI too. Like if you keep using ChatGPT to carry out your work, ChatGPT will be training itself with the things you are doing. A time will not come, anytime you want ChatGPT to do something for you, it will be going to look at what you have been doing before and using it to create content. And maybe that is not the direction you want the content to go. So you must take note of all these challenges that still are found with AI tools. As good as they are not perfect. So take note of that. Thank you. All right, so we have done a whole lot these past days, and I really want to say that actually we are not supposed to be the same as we were before we started this class. So, but just to run a brief, I just want to run from the start of what we have done through to the end of what we have done. From the beginning, we started talking about what is research, where we defined research, where we also identified the scientific research as it has to do with academic research. And then also itemized that for a scientific research, it starts from the generating of a problem area where you now identify a topic, and then you collect data, you analyze the data, you interpret the data, you evaluate your findings, and then you generate or you write your report. We also talk about the types of research, where we talk about those ones that are categorized by purpose, where we talk about the basic, fundamental, the pure research. We talk about the applied, the developmental research. We talk about the evaluative research. The basic, pure, fundamental research has to do with research that are not targeting any real-life problem that it wants to be applied to, but they are used to generate framework, theories that other research types depends upon. Then we talked about the applied research that is carried out particularly to solve a particular problem at a point in time. And we also talked about the evaluative research, where we are talking about carrying out research just to assess a particular program or design or data so as to see the effectiveness over time. Then we also talked about research, a type that has to do with the method. Then we talk about historical, we talk about correlational, we talk about experimental, we talk about a number of them. And then we also looked at research which has to do with data type. We talk about qualitative, quantitative, and mixed. Then where we thought that the research done in quantitative has to do with the type of data. The data is majorly numerical. And then we also talked about qualitative, where the data collected, it is not numerical. Then we talked about mixed, where you are blending both the qualitative and quantitative to carry out a particular research. Then we also talk about research that has to do with time dimension. You have the cross-sectional, you have the longitudinal, then you have the time series analysis. And we talked that the one that has to do with cross-sectional is when you are collecting the data at a particular point in time. That of the longitudinal is when you are collecting data over a certain interval of time. And we'll talk about the time series when you are collecting data, I think over time series, a short interval of time. Then we talked about the objectives of research, the motivations, why people go into research, and then we also look at the aspect of research, the phases of research, where we talk about the planning stage, the project stage, and the documentation stage. And then we talked about research, the phase, the process of research. We start from the problem definition, where you have to define a problem before you are able to embark on a research. And then you move on to literature review, you move on to generating of hypothesis and the research question, you move on to data collection, you move on to the data analysis, and then the report generation. And then we also looked at citation and referencing, where we said that citation and referencing, they are very important if your research is going to be valid and it can be reproducible. So by citation and referencing, you are simply telling the reader that this is where I got my information from, and you can as well go and check it out. Then we also looked at the aspect of understanding gap in literature, where we try to want to establish that there are a number of gaps that you can find to make your research to be valid. We talked about the population gap, the empirical gap. We talked about the geographic gap, a lot of them. So you can still go through the material to find out what they are. Then we talk about to maximize Microsoft Office, where we looked at some of the tricks using shortcuts and how to automatically generate your table of contents. Oh, we didn't touch that. Okay, we looked at how to generate your list of figures, your list of tables, and other acts that you can do while you are carrying out your research. Then we also talked about the use of AI tools, which we have just rounded up. I just remembered we did not touch the aspect of doing generating automatic AI, automatic table of contents in your work. So let's do that quickly before I wrap up. All right, so for you to generate automatic table of contents in your document, it is assumed that you have already prepared the document and you want to attach the table of contents automatically. The first thing you would have to do is that you would have to assign tables. They are true. You have to assign headings. You have to assign headings. If you look at this style, can you see my screen? Is my screen clear? I am not looking at my Microsoft document. If you look at on this place here where my cursor is moving, you will see normal, you will see no space, you will see heading, you will see heading 2. If you click down, you will see title and different stuffs like that. So now we want to see what we should do if we are going to generate automatic table of content. Now you must understand that this your chapter 1 is called heading 1. Any of the chapters in your work is called heading 1. Then those other ones that are 1.1 is called heading 2. Those other ones that are 1 point something or 2 point something or 3 point something, they are heading 2. Then anyone that is carrying 3, like let's say 1.1.1, this one is referred to as what? Heading 3. So now what do? We are going to, if you look at this now, this heading here is not looking like, if I click on it, let me just show you what it will be like. If I click on it like this, look at what it became. It is not aligning with the way our document should be. So what do? We go to this heading. After I highlighted this chapter 1, I go to the heading, I right click. As I right click, on the top, you will see update heading 1 to match selection. As I click on it, heading 1 will become updated to match the way I want it to be. So if I click on this introduction and I click heading 1, it will just assume the same thing. So you can see that at the end of this test, you will see something already hanging there. It's meaning that I have been able to assign a particular heading to that particular test. And what heading did I assign to it? When I click on it, that heading will be highlighted here. So it is showing here that it is heading 1 that I have assigned to that. So now let's go to this one, which is supposed to be heading 2. So this is heading 2. I click on it, I update it. So now it has now become heading 2. All right, so let's see for heading 3. So this one is for our heading 3. So I come there, I right click, I update it. It has now become heading 3. So now let's generate our table of content automatically. So I come to my document, I go to reference, then you will see table of contents. Table of contents. You click on it. Then I'm coming, please.
Custom table.
You choose the way you want it to be, whether you want it to be in this hierarchy, heading 1 should be utter, heading 2 should follow, heading 3 should follow, which is best. So click on this one to customize it. You see how it has automatically captured all the headings that we have already listed here. The heading 1, 2, and 3. So you can see it already here. So with this being said, I think we have tried, and what we are praying is that our knowledge will continue to increase and will not forget quickly. But meanwhile, like as I said, feel free to always come to the Telegram group. And then please, if you have not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, please go and subscribe so that we can easily grow our channel with your assistance. So please help us subscribe. Share the links also of our channel, because we'll be doing live sessions subsequently on YouTube, so that when we are going live, you will be updated and you will know what we are coming there to do. So with this being said, let me appreciate us for being part of this session. Then let's hope for a better research endeavor in our academic pursuits. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. You have done a very marvelous job.
Thank you. So feel free to talk to us with the Telegram group, but please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please.
One thing, sir.
All right.
In the Telegram, I think you gave us the materials.
Yes,
and
yes,
those ones that are for the lectures. So
yes, I am.
It has a link to YouTube.
Yes, it's a link to YouTube. Yes.
By the time we get to YouTube, I was able to watch the lectures, but I have a challenge. I was trying to make sure that I download it so that anytime I want to watch, I may not need to be using my data again. But I have problem doing that. All
right, this is what you would do. I will tell you how to download it. I will send you the step-by-step how to download it.
Okay.
I will send it to you, or I will put it on the Telegram group how to download it from that place. Yes, I'll put it there.
It's okay.
All right.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you for the knowledge in fact. Sir, please, the template you used for the AI yesterday, please can you share it with us?
All right. But that template actually is not supposed to be free, but just to be on favored with you people, I'm going to drop it for those in the group. Because that template actually it was not supposed to be free, but I will just give it to us for free.
Okay, thank you.
And again, sir, I don't know, maybe you can still explain how to draft a professional proposal. Then once someone submits his proposal to a supervisor, and how to come up with the standard literature review. Like if you are told to bring 20 to 30 literature review, because I was a bit under the weather for the past 2 lectures, so I was able to join yesterday. But thank God for the record. I'll watch the other ones that I missed. So please, I don't know, maybe you can explain, maybe, or you can just illustrate how to come up with, when you say come
right.
with literature review, then you should also
let me try out something quickly. First of all, your proposal is actually your chapter 1 to chapter 3 of what you intend doing. That is what your proposal is supposed to be. So what we are trying to, I'm going to show you now how to briefly. Now, your proposal has 3 chapters. Chapter 1.
Introduction.
Chapter 1, 2, and 3. Now, before you embark on doing proposal, please, may I request that you do literature review. First, do literature review. Why do I say you should do literature review? Because whatever you come to as your proposer has already formed the first 3 chapters of your thesis or your dissertation. So it's not like you are trying to go and drop something and you will come back again to come and do anything. No, you are already forming a very strong foundation for what you are intending to research into. So first of all, you have to go and do your literature review. And the literature review you do is what is going to form your chapter 2. Getting it now?
Okay.
The literature review you do is what will form your chapter 2. And it is the literature review you do that will empower your ability to create your chapter 1 and your chapter 3. So before you think of doing proposal and start writing anything in chapter 1, start with chapter 2. Just start with chapter 2. Start reviewing literature. Now, this is what you do. You already know that your chapter 1 has about 7 subsections, which is the background of the study, the statement of the problem, the aim and the objective, the significance of the scope of the study, justification, then definition of terms. These are the subsections in your chapter 1. How do you build this subsection? As you are reading people's work, you are seeing the way they are structuring their own content. You take from their content and you keep forming your own chapter 1. So now I'm just going to use AI2 to brush it through so that let me use AI2. Let me use it because I can't read any literature at the moment. But let me use AI2. So I'm going to upload my template quickly. And this template also, when it gets to chapter 3, it will ask you, is this a proposal or it is a full thesis? It will ask you before it proceeds. So that is one thing about it. So this is what the template said. It said to develop chapter 1, kindly type below your research topic. So now, what do we put in there? Let's put in that topic we have been running with for this while. Where is that topic again? Measuring clinical stuff. See. So we are putting the topic. Now, he says, great, here is the outline for your chapter 1. So it has brought out the outline for your chapter 1. Are you seeing it now? And I said, which section should I begin with? And how many words should I generate? Now, I said, okay, let me say 1.1 and let me say 500 words. All right, so while it is generating, I want to explain something to you. You can see all this stuff now that are written here. All this stuff are gotten from literatures. All of them, they are gotten from literature. So as you are reading a particular literature, you will be seeing those words that the author used, and you think that those words are very much important in you explaining what you are trying to do. Now, look at this now. Everything that was written here down to this particular point was gotten from 3 literatures. Are you seeing it here? Sorry, for 4 literatures. Are you seeing it? It was gotten from 4 literatures. This is one, this is one, this is one, and this is the last one. And all these are existing literatures. Are you getting it now? So if you go and get all those literatures and you read them, you will discover that all this content, you will be able to generate them out of those literature without using AI. Just by reading it, you'll be able to get out all this information from those papers. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Then look at this entire content from year to year is gotten from this paper. Are you seeing it? Then look at this entire content from year to year is gotten from 4 papers. I think part of the 4 papers that are already listed above. So what I'm trying to show to you is that in the building up of your work, chapter 1 through, it is based on the literature you have reviewed that you are able to come out with information. It's not like you just want to go and gather anything anywhere. So that's why I say you must start with your literature review. As you are reviewing your literature, you are building chapter 1, you build your background of study, then you build your statement of the problem. Let's just see now. Let's do our statement of the problem. Just hold on, let me get our statement of the problem so that you can see that it is still based on literature that we are able to do what we are doing. 1.2. You can see this citation here. It is still based on the literature that you have read that you are able to identify problems. So this entire problem here was identified by reading this particular literature. This entire problem here was identified by reading this literature. This entire problem here was identified by reading this literature. Are you getting it now? This problem here was identified by reading this literature. This one was identified by reading this literature. Are you seeing it now? So it is as you are reading your literature and you are doing your literature review, that is how you are now going to be getting information to fix into your work. Are you getting it now? So let's assume now this one say empirical evaluations have revealed that hallucination remains prevalent in clinical summarization tasks. It's already telling you that there's a problem. That is the problem. And it is as a result of reading this paper. So this paper brings to understanding that hallucination is existing in this scenario, clinical summarization task. Do you understand? Now, take for instance, now what you are trying to research into is to solve that problem. So it means that what you want to do is something that can actually identify hallucination or can measure hallucination or can mitigate hallucination. So all of those actually forms what your research problem. Then if you go on, you also discover that there are a lot of them. The only place where you don't have literature citation in your work, I think, is when you are talking about the scope. When you are talking about the scope of your work, that is you now that will tell the people what extent you want to go. Yes, you have identified this problem, but you don't want to go beyond this point. You want to just research to this extent and stop. So that one, you don't need literature to arrive in that. You can tell the people what you want. That is your scope of the study. Are you getting it now? So your scope of the study, you don't need to have to read literature to get it, because actually it is what you want to do. Then your aim and objective, actually you need to read literature, because before you begin to point out some things, you need to understand the basics behind them. But you don't need so much of literature for you to come out with your aim and objective. Why? Because your aim is actually the topic you are researching into, and then the objective is how you want to arrive at the solution. So you don't need a lot of literature. But for your background of the study, your statement of the problem, even sometimes your significance and your justification and your operational definition, you actually need to read literatures for you to see how these things are being applied, so that you will know how to apply it to your own work. Is that clear?
Okay.
So if you are able to, maybe you are generating your content using AI like this, please ensure you read it carefully. Don't just go and carry it like this and put it in your document and go and give to your supervisor. If they ask you one question and you cannot answer it, your supervisor will assume you are just joking. So make sure that even if you use an AI tool, make sure that you also read it and understand what that thing is saying, so that when they ask you, what are you doing, what you say with your mouth will not be different from what they are reading out of your work. Is it clear? So your literature, your proposal is just your chapter 1 to 3. And for you to do a very good proposal, you need to do a very good literature review. And let me make it clear to you that if you do a very good literature review, only your chapter 2 is a publication already. Only your chapter 2 is a publication already. You cannot develop that chapter 2 into what we call a review paper. A review paper. And then you publish it anywhere you want to publish it to. So in carrying out your thesis, you are sure to get 2 publications at minimum. Why? Because your chapter 2 is 1 publication, then your chapter 4 is another publication. Exactly.
Okay, sir.
So
Then
that's your
again, one more
all
thing.
right.
Sorry for bothering you. Then, because it happens to me, I was told to come up with 30 literature review. So I only want to have the picture of how to what is expected of me to present to the supervisor.
All right. Now let me show it to you briefly. I want to download a particular paper and let me carry out the review. No, let me not download. Let me go to my Mendeley and read it there, because my Mendeley have a lot of papers. So let me just go and read it there. Right, so let's take, for instance, let me just come here and pick challenges in, let me pick multimodal. No, let me pick this. Let me not pick that. Let me come and pick single modal. All right. Now, look at these papers now. I want to pick this one now and let me read it so that we can perform the literature review on this paper. When you want to review a literature, first of all, read the abstract. The abstract is going to give you about 60 or 70% of what you need to show in your literature review. Then the remaining 30, you can go to the main document, especially the methodology and then the result to get it. All right, so look at this paper now. Let's assume I want to review it. The role of artificial intelligence in medical diagnosis. First of all, the first thing I want to identify is the author. The author is this Daviaj Singla. So I will now pick it here and say, what is the year of the paper? 2024. And remember, when you are carrying out your literature review, you must make sure it is in past tense because it is something somebody has already reported. You cannot be reporting what somebody has reported and use present tense. So you can say Singla 2024 evaluated the role of artificial intelligence in healthcare. Now, in the role of artificial intelligence in medical diagnostics. Full stop. The next thing, now let's start reading. The application of AI, blah, blah, blah. You know that your abstract, before I move on, let me just tell you something so that you know where you focus on. Your abstract is divided into 5 parts. So your abstract in any document is divided into these 5 parts: introduction, aim and objective, methodology, result, and conclusion. Where your focus is this aim downward, not introduction. But you will always get the introduction at the starting point. So let me show you the introduction. Look at the introduction here. The person is saying the application of artificial intelligence in the field of medical will usher in blah 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 blah, and the diagnostic process blah 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 blah. Diagnostic technology that drives this. The most significant contribution that artificial intelligence has made to the field is this. I want to check out the ability of accurately. I'm coming. It's all right. I'm trying to pick out the 5 sections out of the work, but from the work, because the work is tailored towards just identifying the role of AI, this work is not actually using anything like data to do any analysis to find out anything from data. So it's not so clear to split it into that order. Let me pick a paper that is clear on that. Just let me pick a paper that is clear on that. Diagnosing typhoid. Okay, let me pick this. All right, so in the modern era, the field of medicine is witnessing an enormous growth in methods of diagnosing, the method of diagnosis to the method of treatment and the abundance of information, which is not reaching the explosion of the availability of information. I'm just skipping on, which may perform. The recent development of artificial intelligence has provided such a platform to handle, compile, analyze, and do this. All right, look at where this thing started from. Are you seeing this? Where they write in this paper?
Yes, sir.
That place where you see in this paper, or you see in this study, or you see in this research, or in this work, that is where the main aim and objective of the paper starts from. So look at what he said. He said, in this paper, we present an effective and efficient diagnosis system using artificial neural network for thyroid disease diagnosis by first training the model. So you can see the aim, you can see the method that is being used, and you can see the result. This is the result here that they got.
Okay.
You can see the results here, 92, 24, depending on what they are measuring. That is the result.
Yeah.
Then you find at the end of it, you will see the conclusion. And then that is it. So when you are now doing your literature review, you have been able to capture this information. Say, let's say Vamal, okay, let's say Booth and Pal. Booth and Pal 2019. Let me bring it in. Booth and Pal 2019, an intelligent system for diagnosing these through artificial intelligence. All right. You will now say Booth and Pal developed an intelligent system for the diagnosis of thyroid disease. Full stop. The So they use artificial neural network. That is what they used for diagnosing that by first training the model based on training data sets, and then use the model to predict the presence of the disease. Take note, they say they use training data sets. They did not specify the training data set. You will need to find that information inside of the work. But let's go. So you will say, let's talk about the method first. CNN, which is artificial neural network, was used as the model for developing the system. Full stop. Let's read on. We have compared the prediction result of 3 different methods. Okay, so let's first of all bring in the data. Let's check what kind of data they used. Right, before using the data for analysis, let's check where they collected. Okay, look at it. They say the data consists of 2 files. 2 files. One of them is employed to train the data, which is having 3772 cases without any missing values. So the data that is used is a test data. Are you getting it now? It's a test data. So you include it. You include and say test data comprising a total of, this is 3772 plus, where's the other one? 3482. When you add this together, I think that is about 7, or let's say about 6 something. I'm not calculating. A test data comprising of total of these, showing what is the nature of the data. I'm coming on. Thyroid malfunction, to predict the identification of thyroid malfunction in pregnant women. To compare the accuracy of this, blah, 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 for purpose of this study. We use the thyroid data set. This is the data set they use, available in the UC Irvine Machine Learning Repository. So if you want to understand, I think if you go further, you will see what the data set comprises of. It comprises of just, it comprises of 2, 1, 2, 3. It comprises of 3 classes. One class is 1, one class is 2, one class is 3. So when you read through the document, you will see where they identify what 1 is, what 2 is, and what 3 is. But from what I'm seeing here, in this confusion matrix, you are seeing 1, 2, 3 means that they are the classes. So we have 3 classes, which means that the data has 3 classes in it. So you can also, okay, showing the symptoms of patients suspected to have thyroid disease, full stop. So you now say the data was splitted. Data was split into training and testing in the ratio of whatever ratio it is, maybe 70 ratio 30. Let's assume 70 ratio 30, and the model was trained to achieve an accuracy of, it was stated there, I think, where is that? 90, where is it, accuracy?
92.
98.22 of 98.22.
Okay.
98.22, and they use other metrics like the root mean square error. Root mean square error of, it was stated there also. Then I think there is another matrix they use. So after you have finished doing all this elaborate work on what the person did, you will not try to look for where the person, there is a gap in the paper. You will not say the research was able to classify the test data accurately, but lacks, I'm just trying to suggest it, I have not read the paper, but lacks multimodal concepts in the development of the model. So you have been able to identify what the author did, what the author used, the type of data, the result it obtained, then the strength of the paper, and then the limitation which forms the gap. When you are finished doing this, you have completely reviewed that paper.
Okay.
I don't know if you are getting it. So you pick another paper and do the same.
Okay.
So that is it, until you have done that for all the papers. Then at the end of the day, you will now have a part in the paper they call research gap. That research gap now, you will now pick out one or two of the limitation of those papers. Maybe you can pick one or two and say that this is the area that you want to solve the problem. That one has formed your chapter 2 already.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
But if you need more closer instruction, maybe we can create a time to discuss about it and let me look at what you are doing.
Okay, no problem. Because okay, no problem. I will chat you up. I think that will be better.
All right. It's all right.
Thank you.
All right. So thank you all for your time, and we thank God for the success of everything we've done so far. So I will try as much as I can to make the materials available on the Telegram group, and also give the way you were able to download it in those in the Telegram group. So
thank you so much.
We can also sustain the conversation on the Telegram group. But please don't mind me if maybe probably you want me to respond to something and I have not responded. Please, I will not neglect what you want me to do, but maybe I may be overwhelmed at a time with activities in my hand. But as soon as I'm able to clear up some, I will be able to attend to everybody and what you want me to do.
Okay. Thank you so much. May God bless you richly.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.